Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thought I'd take a few minutes and show you all my garden that I've been growing here. Start out with showing you the fence I have around it. Nothing super fancy, a couple posts. It's about roughly 4 foot tall. Just some mesh fencing to keep some of the critters out that could possibly jump in there or get into the plants and ruin all my progress. A lot of the plants in here, actually all the plants in here, are planted in containers because the soil around here isn't the best. So I've used a lot of the plastic totes, drilled holes in them so it can drain, but not so large that it completely drains out immediately. It does hold some moisture. I like using the clear totes so I can actually see the moisture down into the soil. Kind of lets me know that it's actually hydrated down below in the root area and no one's starving from lack of water or food. Alright, let's start out right here. I have some butternut squash growing really well. Gigantic leaves. I mean, here's my hand in comparison. And there's some big leaves here, man. Growing really, really strong. And I do have a eggplant in here as well. This is my eggplant, and this might actually get choked out. I mean, I do have some blossoms, but this butternut squash is growing so big and so well that it may end up choking out the eggplant. Probably could replant it, but then it would go into shock possibly and may not recover and kill it altogether. Who knows? We'll see. My cucumbers, which are climbing up the fence really, really well. May have to add some support to the back of the fence, especially if it decides to climb up top. I do have some fencing that actually is draped over the top of the garden. And I don't know, thought it might keep out the birds and whatnots, but I'm sure they'll get in here if they want to. I'm moving on to my tomato plants. I have a couple different varieties of tomato plants. I have some cherry tomatoes. I believe the other ones are called Husky Reds. And a little bit further down the line, I have another one called the Lemon Boy, which I'm pretty excited to see because they're supposed to be completely yellow. And I believe it's a low acid tomato. So I'm very excited to see how that one tastes. The tomato plants are doing really well. This one doesn't have any tomatoes on it yet. I did transplant this about a week ago, and for a couple of days it looked really, really sad. I wasn't sure if it was going to recover or not, but it's doing well today. And then I got this one here, which is the Husky Cherry Reds. And you can see I do have tomatoes growing. Pretty excited. I've had cherry tomatoes in the past, and once they start producing tomatoes, man, it's like bonanza of tomatoes. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let me tell you a little story about these cages. Here in New York State, tomato cages are almost next to impossible to find. If you do find some at a store, you need to grab them immediately because they will be sold out in a matter of no time. These are 54-inch cages. I'm sure it's overkill for the plants I have, but who knows, maybe they'll grow that tall. It'd be kind of cool to see. I went to 3 or 4 different stores, called everywhere. Went to one store that said they had 45 in stock, and within an hour sold out on all of them. So now I have these gigantic tomato cages, and just keep my fingers crossed that my tomato plants will grow that tall. It'd be really neat to see. Over here is some zucchini. I actually purchased these about a week ago, so they definitely don't have the head start like the squash plants do, but they are growing nicely, and we all eat a lot of zucchini here, and as well as my plecos in my fish tank, so that'd be nice. Not have to buy zucchini. I just come out of the garden and grab a zucchini or two and feed the fish. Right here, these are habaneros, which I got from a friend of ours, and they are growing really nice as well. They need to catch up to the rest of the group, but it's only mid-June, so actually towards the end of June, but we're doing all right. Got a red pepper plants. I love red peppers, and I do actually have a red pepper growing right here. Kind of excited to see that grow, and can't wait for it to ripen up. I got some blossoms on the other red pepper plant, so it's pretty cool to watch. Right here is my sweet banana plants, sweet banana peppers, and this particular plant has at least 3, looks like 4 on this one, and oh, and it looks like the one over here starting to produce some peppers as well. So that's pretty exciting. That is my lemon boy tomato plant. And there is some tomatoes down in here. I don't know if you guys can see them on the video or not, but there is some tomatoes in there. And that'll be exciting. Over here is my disaster of a strawberry project. Mother's Day, my boys and I bought my wife a strawberry plant. It was actually 10 little strawberry plants in the container. Brought them home, potted them. Never done strawberries before. This one right here doesn't have much of a prayer. But I do see maybe some green, some fresh green in the middle, so maybe it is growing back. As you can see here, I do have some small strawberries. They're tiny, but they ripen up really well, and they are tart when you eat them. These are some late blooming tomato plants. We did these out of seeds instead of seedlings, so we'll see how well that goes. And then we got some onions. This is a flower that my son is growing. I believe it's called Joseph's Carpet. He liked it because his middle name is Joseph, and he thought that was pretty neat. And over here, some more onions and garlic, and I need to look into this because I'm sure I need to add some more soil. They're leaning pretty hard. I mean, they're growing well, but it just seems like not enough support. This container is a couple more habanero plants, and not really sure what this is. I had some seeds in here prior to the pepper plants, and nothing was growing, and then as soon as I put the pepper plants in here, this thing sprouted up. So no clue. I'll wait and see what it turns into. It may just be something that fell off the tree above the garden, which happens to be an oak tree. So we'll see. Some more strawberries. This particular plant and this one right here actually have been producing strawberries pretty regularly. They're small, red, and tart. Then my herbs. We have Italian oregano, parsley, sweet basil, and mint. So we'll see how that goes. I've never done herbs as well. So that's my garden. Nothing fancy, but I love it. Take care of it. And can't wait to see some of the vegetables start to come off of it. It always seems more delicious when you're able to pick your own and grow your own, harvest whatever it is, whether it's through your garden or through hunting. It's always nice to be able to produce food for yourself. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. And this is Len Outdoors, signing out. See ya.